welcome back to Jacqueline Joyce. I am Jacqueline, and today is just a very general conversation, more so because I have a very big job interview and I just want to chat and clear my mind and get all my thoughts out so that I can be prosperous and all those other great things. Quick update, I have still been doing the CBD oil. I actually just took some maybe about 20 minutes ago, so whatever you see happening in this video is being affected by the CBD. So, as some of you know, I work in TV, I've worked behind the scenes in development, and also I've done some assistant work as well, and I've occasionally been on camera. And yes, that's Cardi B before Bodak Yellow. And I also have this channel. As some of you guys know, about 3 years ago, my mom got sick. I quit my job in New York. I moved home to LA, take care of her. So now I'm basically trying to re-enter the workforce after being out of it for 3 years, which is a pretty long hiatus, especially at my age. I'm still fairly young, and to have that large of a gap in my work history is pretty weird. I love what I do, and I decided to work in a field that basically relies very heavily on verbal communication. Like, in fact, what I do is predicated on what I say and how well I say it. Like, that's pretty much what writing is. It's coming up with a concept, getting everyone else in the room on board with your idea through verbal explanation. When I found out that I got this job interview, the first feeling that came over me was excitement, like, yes, I'm that beep, like I'm worth this interview. And then quickly it was followed by fear. And like, I automatically thought about all the things that could go wrong in the interview and all the reasons why someone should be hired over me. I was putting all of this negative energy, infusing it into this interview that hasn't even happened yet. And I took a step back and I was like, okay, no, you need to stop this and let's do a reversal. So I decided to basically do the complete opposite. And I'm going to make a video about why I'm so damn qualified for this job and any job. I am trying to be an evolving human and operate on higher brainwaves, which means I don't let my past weigh me down, and therefore whatever past interviews I've been on that have gone horribly, I will exit those out of my memory and move forward from this day on. So let's start with why I enjoy work. I like being a part of making something, like it forms community, and I thrive in a collaborative environment. I also enjoy having responsibility, and of course I like making money. I feel like everyone should like making money. We live in a capitalist society, we have to make money. I also want to have the bragging rights of saying, like, I work for the second longest running animated show on TV, because every now and then I just want to swing my dick around, throw it in people's faces, just like smack people with my dick. I wish I had the... God made me a woman for a reason, because I would literally just go around like, hey, pop, and then tuck it back in. That's what guys do, right? That's a thing. Okay, never mind. Instead of focusing on needing money, let's focus on the fun reasons I want to work for a job, because I do believe that when you focus on like, oh my God, I need this job because I don't have any money, or I need the money, or you go in there desperate, and they read that the second you step in there, like you read desperation, and no one wants to hire someone who's like, well, they're on their last leg, let's get them in here. Actually, that might be I think the art of war is like when your opponent is on their like last leg, help them out, because then they'll be forever grateful for that moment. But we're not doing the art of war, we're just talking about job interviews. If ever I'm in war, know that if you're struggling for your last drip drop of water, you want me there. So I made a list of reasons why I'm good for any position, focusing on my stutter and what makes me a great candidate. So the first being, I'm an excellent communicator. I'm concise with my words. I leave very little room for error, mostly because I don't want to repeat what I said again, because repeating it increases the likelihood of me having a larger stutter on it. And so I'm always like, this is what I mean. Point 1, point 2, point 3, conclusion. Do you understand? Good. And then I just walk away. I won't bombard you with ideas at the wrong time. I'm very strategic about approaching a higher up with the concern, because I know how environments impact my speech. And so if I see that you're swamped with a bunch of people and a bunch of requests, I'm just gonna wait that little moment to slide in and be like, here's the answer to the question you've been wondering for the entire day. I have it, ha 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 ha. And then I'll impart, and then I'll like walk away like a little like gnome. And then they'll be like, wow, that stutter chick really saved the day. So I always wait for the opportune time to approach. Another thing is I think things through. You know, I just don't say the first thing that comes to my mind. I'm thoughtful with my words, and I'm going to make sure that I'm always offering a solution when there is a problem. I also don't like to waste people's time because I don't like my time wasted. I'm very time conscious, and I do believe that stuttering has made me very aware of my time and the amount of time it takes for me to speak. And so I really try to use that to my advantage instead of making time something that frightens me. So those are like some of the reasons why I think I'm a fantastic candidate. And all of those have to do with me stuttering, and why hiring me personally, someone who stutters, could benefit you in the long run. I think looking at the way we approach these interviews and looking at the way we think about ourselves is very important when imparting who we are to other people. You know, and it's weird because I was expecting that list to be longer. Like, I'm going to make this long list about why, as a stutterer, I'm fantastic. But then I realized it was only 4 things, because a job requires so much more than me working around my speech impediment. Like, there's so many other great things about me. Like, I'm timely, I learn quickly, I work well in collaborative environment, I keep good eye contact, I have great posture, I take criticism well, I look for criticism, I eagerly want people to tell me how to make something better. I'm constantly looking for ways to grow and to improve upon whatever task I have at hand so I can be more efficient. My goal is always to improve upon myself, and I'm very confident in my abilities as well. And you know, these are attributes that will get me hired, that coupled with the ones I listed above. You know, and to make sure that I can convey this in an interview, I am going to do my homework. You know, like, I used to wing interviews and be like, oh, I'll just like go in there and grace them with my personality and so on. And I really learned after a while that preparing for an interview is one of the most important things you can do. Like, I have to know the company, I have to do my homework, know the company, know what the role I'm applying for is about, research the person who's maybe interviewing, like not in a stalkery way, like don't know their favorite topping on a pizza, maybe. Preparation is key to success, or is it consistency? I think consistency and preparation are keys to success. And all of those things I mentioned before are things that I will most likely commit to memory, because I know that I thrive better when I have my lists of attributes, and also when I want to let you know that I know about the company. When I memorize it, I know that I'm more confident in my delivery when I do that. But this is really about basically finding out what works for you and what works best for me, and then use that to my advantage. So I also basically put together a list of like talking points that I want to hit at the end of an interview, because this is something that I didn't do for a long time. And then after adding this on to an interview, it really helped me learn more about the job itself, and also if I even got the job. So I put together a list of talking points, because having my own questions basically lets them know how interested I am in securing this position, and like some of the things I want to know. I want to know what the culture of the company is, what are the past successes that people have had, what is a typical work week like, because you know everyone's like, well, your work day changes all the time, but a work week, you know, can be fairly the same. What's another word for the same? Identical? You know, do you guys have team meetings? If you do, what are they like? Does everyone get to share their opinions? Does everyone get to impart information? What is one trait that you see in people that make them successful at this job? That way you get a little bit of a heads up of what you need to be successful. I like the question, what are challenges you foresee in the next 6 months that people in my position would encounter? Again, this is all setting you up for success and also letting them know that you're thinking about the future, letting them know that you're thinking about things that you can do to make their jobs easier. And why do you enjoy working here? And if they can't answer that question, then you can really question if you need to be there. Because you're interviewing them just as much as they're interviewing you. And the last question, which I have asked before, and their response gave me insight to improve for future interviews. It's a really scary question, but I ask it because it leaves me not going crazy, is like, is there hesitancy that you have with hiring me and why? And I know this seems like a horrible question to ask, like why would you have them tell you why they would not hire you? But it also lets you leave that interview knowing if you have a shoe-in or not. You don't have to rack your brain for at least a week or two afterward trying to think, oh my God, I don't know if I got this job. I really hope I got it. I think my interview went well. When they can tell you like straight up, like, I don't know about y'all. I just have to do a quick pause. This CBD oil is some good-ish. I'm definitely going to use this before I go on my interview because it's not even the amount of fluency I have right now, because there's like still stutters and I'm still working through them, some of that you may not be able to see, but the level of like calm I have right now is just so intense and I'm really appreciating it. All right, so all in all, I may not be the most qualified. I do have a 3-year gap that I have not worked. But during that time, I've written and I've produced my own work, which shows a lot about me being a self-starter. It shows a lot about me, wanting to be a part of this industry even when there's another load on me. And, I have to highlight that. I have to highlight why I'm awesome. To be honest, doing video has really showed me that I should be getting this job. I need to get this job, yo. It confirms that if they don't hire me, I'll get another job. There are multiple jobs out there. This isn't the only one, and I can be successful in so many positions. But I really want this one, I have to be honest. All right, y'all, that is all for today. I appreciate you tuning in. Remember to like, share, subscribe. If you know someone who stutters, tell them about this channel, because I know how it was growing up not knowing anyone who stuttered, and I felt so lonely and so alone, and I always asked God, why me? The internet has really made this easier to deal with because you see so many people from across the world battling with the same impediment. And so if you do know someone, just send them a link over and watch it together. Be a good friend. All right, so I appreciate you. Love your faces. Stutter beautifully. Bye. Talk to you later.